full house. Number 3, Stuttgart's with a walk-off win.
Hast du wieder ausgemacht? Nee. Ich hab's gleich vom Mitfahren.
Welcome to the home opener of the 2023 Stuttgart Reds baseball season. A lot has happened between the last time we talked. We'll get some of that a little bit later. It's cloudy with a chance of global raining. It's about 15 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. My name is Ken Hudson, the voice of Reds TV. To my right, the master of disaster, the CEO of Reds TV, and the new Marvel hero, Yara Drobny. We're still trying to figure out what his superpower is. To my left, the guy who makes me sound so good, Mr. Good Vibrations, Rainer Lolk. We're starting the broadcast a little early because this is the season opener, not only for the Stuttgart Reds, but for the Stuttgart Reds ballpark. I'm hoping for three things today. No rain. A full house, and it looks like about halfway full already. And of course, Stuttgart winning in walk-off fashion. We do have a lot of special guests in attendance. Some of them, we have a crew from the AFN TV, the American Armed Forces Network. We have the SWR TV out here. We also have DBV President Jürgen Elshans. We have Roland Schmidt, one of the presidents of the TVC Cannstatt, the Sportverein from Stuttgart Reds. We also have Dr. Clemens Meyer, the Stuttgart Burgermeister, and the commander of U.S. Army Garrison Stuttgart, Matthew Sigler, and of course, the Sergeant Major of Stuttgart Army Garrison, Denise Malave. Colonel Sigler and Mayor Meyer will be throwing out the first pitch here momentarily. So sit on down, get your beer cooled down or your coffee warmed up. Get some popcorn, get some hot dogs, and if you don't want to do that, come on down. See the new stadium. We'll be back here in a couple minutes with the first pitch. So as you can see, the teams are being brought onto the field, escorted by some of the Stuttgart Reds U12 team. Couple of shout outs I got to give out there. 67 Gators, greetings back to you. And of course, my good friend, known him for a very long time, Randy Ewert. I hope you're sitting down and have a cold one in front of you. So as soon as the lineups are done, I'm sure that Colonel Ziegler, I already forewarned him, he better throw a strike, and the mayor from Stuttgart will be throwing out the first pitch, and then it will be time for play ball.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren, ganz kurz, wir sind kurz vor Spielbeginn. Einfach weil es das erste Spiel ist, ein herzliches Willkommen zur Einweihung unseres neuen Stadions. Ich finde es ist toll geworden, klasse Sache. Und ich hoffe, Sie fühlen sich alle wohl. Es gibt ein tolles Spiel, ein spannendes Spiel, sodass alle mit guter Erinnerung nach Hause fahren. Ich freue mich, dass wir tolle Gäste haben. Sportbürgermeister und dann, jetzt irgendwie schwierig, Colonel, die beide den First Pitch machen werden, und wir haben auch ein besonderes Ereignis, den Präsidenten des Deutschen Baseballverbandes, Jürgen Elsässans, bei uns. Herzlich willkommen, tolles Spiel, ich wünsche uns einen schönen Abend.
So Colonel Ziegler getting up on the mound. Well, he's a little bit older. I guess he's got to take it. Oh, yeah! Strike for Colonel Ziegler. And now the Stuttgart Burgermeister is going to throw out a first pitch also, Dr. Clemensmeyer. Now let's see if he can do a little bit better. And of course, Patrick Van Bergen saying, this is where you got to throw it, and the mayor does a great job. Hits the top left corner of the strike zone with that blazing speed. We'll be back shortly with the opening lineups. So the plate conferences are done. Umpires for today. Behind the plate is Patrick Meister. At first base, the world famous Tim Meyer, best known as the umpire at third base, Israel against Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. He was the umpire that called the safe on the swim move. At third base, we have Marco Federico, some of the best umpires that we have here in Germany. Starting lineup for the Mainz Athletics, leading off center fielder Kevin Kotowski. He'll be followed by first baseman Thomas Joyce, catcher Max Bolt batting third, right fielder Peter Johannesson batting fourth, batting fifth, third base, and reigning player of the week Marlon Jimenez Ramos. DH Will Kilgore batting sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth is Gianni Froelich, Carl Feldman, Nicky Weichert. For your Stuttgart Reds, pitching is Jose El Caballo Mendoza. Catching Daniel Abeles. At first base, Moritz van Bergen. At second base, Yannick Witt. At third base is Danilo Weber. Xavi Gonzalez at the shortstop position, left, center, and right. We have Jonas van Bergen, Benedict Schaefer, and in right field, Yannick Witt. Excuse me, Yannick Dentz. And as you can tell, we're now on YouTube, so if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would help the CEO, Master Disaster, maybe get a superpower. Subscribe to Stuttgart Reds TV on YouTube. And now we have a special guest in the announcing booth, Colonel Ziegler, commander of the Garrison Stuttgart. Hi, welcome. How do you like the stadium so far?
Hey Ken, it's great to see you. This is an amazing experience and such a very cool stadium. I'm really excited for the Reds, and this is just a wonderful day.
Yeah, well, too bad that you're getting ready to leave, but you can make sure the commander who's coming in comes visit us.
All summer.
Yeah. I seen your first pitch. I called it a strike.
Yeah, I think you were being very generous, but I tell you what, Ken, you guys, this is amazing. If anybody has an opportunity, they need to see a game in person, and I'm thinking that the Reds are going to pull out a win today.
Well, I said earlier I have 3 wishes for the game. Number 1, no rain.
Yep.
We don't need no global raining.
Yep.
Number 2, a full house, and I think we got that. There are a few seats available if you still want to come down. And number 3, a walk-off win for Stuttgart.
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. What a great stadium. I dig the hats. The logo is super cool, and I have a good feeling for the game today.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by, Colonel Ziegler.
God bless.
Hope
You guys are going to enjoy the game, and looking forward to seeing more.
All right. Colonel Ziegler, the commander of U.S. Army Garrison Stuttgart. Pitch number 1 from Jose, right down the pipe. Strike number 1. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 the count. Jose this year used mainly in late innings. Has 8 innings pitched. Does have 1 loss, but his ERA is 0. Gave up 1 earned run in the loss. That ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, if you want comments, words of wisdom, just want to shout out, we have the chat function open. Subscribe to Reds TV. and trying to get him to chase a ball in the dirt. Of course, Kevin Katowski, longtime Mainzer, not chasing. 2-2. And third ball in the dirt. Check swing, but not far enough to be called a strike. From an 0-2 count, now 3-2. And after 0-2 count, 4 straight balls, a walk for Kevin Katowski. You got to keep an eye on that guy. He can steal a base or two. Brings up first baseman Thomas Joyce. Power hitter for the Mainz Athletics. I know last year led the league, I believe, or was one of the top ones in the league with home runs. Still waiting on his first home run this year. That pitch misses low and away, ball 1.
Und er war leicht außerhalb der Zunge jetzt zum ersten Ball.
And a line drive straight away center field. All the way to the fence over the head of the center fielder, Kevin Katowski, all the way around third. And gets the stop sign from his coach. Double for Thomas Joyce, and Mainz threatening in the beginning of the game. Runners on second and third with no outs. And the ever dangerous Max Bolts up to bat. Max, 379 batting average so far this year. Looking for his first home run of the season, but does have 4 extra base hits. Stuttgart playing with the corners in, middle infield deep. And that pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1.
Hast du besseres Schuhwerk? Da hinten ist die Leiter, da kannst du. Das Blöde ist, es ist nicht Waffe.
That ball in the dirt. Nice block by catcher Daniel Avalos. Excuse me. Avalos. One and one to count. And a ground ball right to the third baseman. Takes it off the chest and then air mails the throw all the way over the first baseman's head. Error on the third baseman. Kevin Katowski running in first when the throw was over the head, so not an earned run yet. Error on Danilo Weber. Runners now at first and third. First run for the Mainz Athletics. Brings up Peter Johannesson. Peter, a long time Mainz Athletic, I believe out of Sweden. So shout out to Mark A. Says good luck to my grandson Daniel Abiles. And shout out to you, Mad Max. That pitch just low by Mukasekele. Ball 2. And a ground ball right to Xavi Gonzalez. Steps on second, throws to first for the double play. Runner from third, able to score. No RBI for Peter Johannesson as he hit into the double play. That's the pitcher's best friend. 2 outs. And up to bat, third baseman Marlon Ramos Jimenez. And he takes the first pitch, ball number 1. And thank you for 67 Gators letting me know, yes, Peter is from Sweden. That pitch inside for ball 2. There we go, strike number 1, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball low. And a ground ball. Fielded by Xavi. Throw. In time. Very close play, but first base umpire Tim Meyer says, yes, he did. So out number 3. Not a good start for the Stuttgart Reds. 2 runs on 1 hit. 1 error, nobody left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning.
Erste Halbinning vorüber. Die Mainz Athletics in der Offensive nehmen 2 Runs mit, aber die Stuttgart Reds haben jetzt die Chance, entsprechend dagegen zu halten. Und kommen wir auch hier zu der Aufstellung der Mainz Athletics. Auf dem Flügel Pitcher für die Athletics. Tim Stahlmann. Catcher Max Bolt. An der ersten Base steht Thomas Joyce. Second baseman ist Nicky Weitert. Third baseman Marlon Jimenez. Shortstop Gianni Bolik. Im Left Field Karl Feldmann. Centerfielder Kevin Kotowski. Und im Right Field Peter Johannesson.
Oh, bottom of the first inning, pitching for the Mainz Athletics, Tim Stahlman. Tim, 2-1 record in 3 starts, has a 3.45 ERA so far for the season. Catching for him is Max Bolt. At first base, Thomas Joyce. At second base is Nicky Weichert. Third base, Marlon Jimenez Ramos. At shortstop, Gianni Froelich. Left, center, and right is Carl Feldman, Kevin Kotowski, and Peter Johannesson. Leading off for the Stuttgart Reds, Daniel Abilis, followed by Danilo Weber. Moritz von Bergen batting third. Cleanup today, Dustin Ward. He'll be followed by Yannick Dentz, Benedict Schaefer, and then 7, 8, and 9 is Xavi Gonzalez, Yannick Witt, and Jonas van Bergen. That pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. And a ground ball right to the second baseman. Step and throw, a little bit off, but no problem for first baseman Thomas Joyce. Ground out for out number 1. Up to bat, third baseman Danilo Weber. That pitch just a little bit low, ball one. There's strike one, 1-1 to count. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. And that off-speed pitch catches Danilo Weber looking strikeout for out number 2. Moritz van Bergen stepping up to the plate. And a shout out to Atlanta Picture Guy. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure that you sign up for Reds TV on YouTube. That pitch misses inside. He all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, tuning in, as is Monica Schneider tuning in from Huntsville, Alabama. And that ball fouled off the first baseline fence. 1-1 to count. And another curveball in there for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down for pitcher Tim Stallman. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 1 inning complete. Mainz Athletics 2, Stuttgart Reds 0. Top of the second inning, leading off for the Mainz Athletics will be Will Kilgore, followed by Johnny Froelich, Carl Feldman. Last week, Mainz able to take 2 games away from the Har Disciples, winning game 1 11-8. 7-1 in game 2. Stuttgart on the other side lost 2 games to the Regensburg Legionnaire. That pitch misses for ball number 1. Game 1, 3-2. Game 2, 5-0 losses. And a ground ball. Nice short hop catch. And an off-balance throw for Danilo Weber, out number 1. And And up to bat, Johnny Froelich. 318 batting average for him so far this year. Does have 1 home run, 5 RBIs. And that pitch on the inside corner for strike number 1. And ball in the dirt, 1-1 to count. And if you can't make it down here, you can always catch some impressions of the game. The world's best photographer, Iris Strobny. I'm sure she's running around here somewhere taking thousands of photos. And check swing foul for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Oh, yeah. Strikeout for out number 2. First strikeout of the game for pitcher Jose Mendoza. That brings up Carl Feldman for the Mainz Athletics. I'm sure he's looking to improve on his .067 batting average. And that pitch, a little bit low, ball number 1. We'll call that a worm burner. Fastball down the middle, bobbled by first baseman Morris van Bergen, but he's able to bring it under control. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 up, 3 down for the Stuttgart Reds in the top of the 2nd inning. We'll be right back with the bottom. Dustin Ward, Yannick Dentz, Benedict Schaefer, the next 3 batters for the Stuttgart Reds. For the Stuttgart Reds, new this year, of course, head coach Rick Joss. He comes to us from Portland, Oregon, 57 years old. Was a scout for both the Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies. He's also part of the Philadelphia Phillies organization when they won the 2008 World Series. Also coached the Czech national team from 2001 to 2005. Talked to him a little bit. He told me he wanted to get back on the field. He was tired of scouting, and that's why he came to Stuttgart. He was expecting probably a little bit better baseball, what he's been used to, of course. You're talking being in the major league organizations. That pitch in there for strike 1. This is quite a bit below the major leagues, although it is still good baseball. I asked him, Red started 5-0, and that ball lined right to the second baseman, Nicky Weichert. Solid contact, but nothing to show for it. Up to bat, Benedict Schaefer, or excuse me, Yannick Dentz. I asked him about the 5-0 start and then the 0-3. And he did say the top teams need to have some losses to learn what kind of adjustments they need to do. And hopefully Stuttgart can make those adjustments. That ball fouled back, strike number 1. And again, still got plenty of time to come out to the ballpark, see the new stadium. And if you can't make it today, game 2 of this doubleheader will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. No balls, 1 strike on Yannick Dentz. And that pitch just a little bit high. There's an off-speed pitch in there for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, one of the big changes in the Bundesliga this year, if you have a doubleheader on the same day, the games are only 7 innings long. Today, 9 innings, and tomorrow, 9 innings. That pitch just high. Catcher Max Bolt trying to get the umpire to call a strike. 2-2 the count. Of course, Patrick Meister of umpires. 2-2. And a fly ball in right field. Twisting foul out of play. Count remains 2-2. That off-speed pitch, just a little bit high. Yannick Dentz able to hold off. Count is full. And a fly ball right field, but no problem for Peter Johannesson. Out number 2. Fly ball in right field. That brings up center fielder Benedict Schaefer. Stuttgart still looking for their first hit / their first base runner of the game. Benedict, 278 batting average. And that pitch, top part of the strike zone for strike number 1. And that, strike number 2, 0-2 the count. That pitch, Mitch is just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul ball. Benedict staying alive. And that ball gets past the catcher, but nobody on base, so nobody able to advance. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, triple deuces. And that ball, base hit. So that breaks up the perfect game, breaks up the no-hitter. Great job, Benedict Schaefer. And that brings up shortstop and probably the oldest guy on the team, Grandpa Xavi Gonzalez. first base, 2 outs. And that ball lined into center field, but no problem for center fielder Kevin Kotowski. Stuttgart finally able to get a first base runner. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on 2 innings in the books. Mainz 2, Stuttgart 0. We'll be right back after a word from somebody.
Woke up in the morning, what a beautiful day. Sun's up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we sing. Run round and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so. Na, 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 na.
Pause hier zwischen Innings 25 und zu bedanken. Die Supporters der Stuttgart Reds. Da hätten wir unter anderem Alba mit einer Alpenrunde GmbH. Allianz Versicherung Feuerwehr. Ernst Peter Bach. Hugo Benting GmbH und Co. KG. Stadtimmobilien. Autohaus. Repka und Beck GmbH. Erika Simonis. Weiter geht's mit der katholischen Familienpflege Stuttgart e.V.
So a couple shout outs to Vanessa Abeles. I'm assuming that you're related to Danya. Hello in Chandler, Arizona. Also, Helgard Kwiatkowski. Yeah, Jonathan Papa says Grandpa Shavi. He's the oldest guy on the team, so he gets that. That ball low for ball 1. And Hildegard says, hey, Ken, new camera angle, I like it. That's to credit of the CEO, Master of Disaster, Yara Drobny. Swing and a miss, 1-1 to count. Maybe that's his new superpower. That pitch high, 2 balls, 1 strike. Outside, 3-1. And Boss Man just told me we're going to get some more cameras, a couple more cameras, so we'll have more angles. Hopefully we'll get one from center field. When the field's done, get one right behind home plate. That ball grounded slowly to Xavi, but no problem. Out number 1. So lots of new things going on. When, of course, the stadium is completely finished, I'm sure we'll have multiple camera angles. And then we won't need Yara anymore. Fastball in there for strike number 1. And a ground ball. Diving stop by Grandpa. Throw in time for out number 2. Xavi getting his work in today. That's his 4th assist already. Maybe he's not so much of a grandpa. Great job, Xavi. Up to bat. Thomas Joyce. Thomas, 273 average so far this year, doubled in his first at bat. And he takes that pitch high, ball 1.
Damit hat kleines Kontrolle gespielt.
1-1 to count. And just a little bit low. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that ball, twisting foul. That had double written all over it had it stayed fair. But nothing but a long strike. And, of course, Yara's favorite thing, triple deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that cricket pitch too low for Thomas Joyce. Count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Shout out to Angie. Fortunately, she can't be at the ballpark tonight, so hello to you at home watching. And that ball bloops right to third baseman Danielo Weber. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Die Athletics und somit jetzt wieder die Chance für die Reds.
So we're at the bottom of the 3rd inning, leading off for the Stuttgart Reds, Yannick Witt, Jonas van Bergen, and Daniel Abeles. And Angie writes, do you know that you can establish an account and have donations to YouTube? We'd love to do that, but we need 1,000 subscribers to the Reds TV channel. So if you haven't done it, subscribe. There's strike number 1. Off-speed pitch in there. Strike number 2. Quickly 0-2 count to Yannick Witt. Some of the changes for the Stuttgart Reds team this year gone are Austin Hassani. He went to Hamburg. Swing and a miss for strikeout out number 1. Brings up Jonas van Bergen. Jose Pimentel and Andre Tomic changed and went to the Hudstetten Storm. Drake Serrati and Marcos Cardoso, whereabouts unknown, out there in space somewhere. And of course, longtime Stuttgart Red who retired from baseball after last season, Ruben Kratke. Swing and a miss for Jonas. New players starting off with Robert Blessing. Robert started his career in Berlin and to Paderborn Internat. That ball grounded to the third baseman, who backs up, makes an off-balance throw, but in time, quickly 2 outs for Robert Blessing. Then on the U15, U18 national team, also new to the Reds, Christoph Erich. He's had quite a bit of a journey through baseball Germany. Started off with the Erfurt Latinos, went to the Bad Homburg Hornets, played in Regensburg last year. He was in Ulm this year in Stuttgart, also a U15 and 18 national team player. Yeah, ball fouled out of play. Jonical Acosta from Aruba. Had some college in the U.S., played in the Netherlands and in Curacao. And of course, the guy up to bat, Daniel Avila, played in Belgium last year, was one of the top, if not the top hitter in Belgium. Played that pitch in there for strike number 2, 0-2 the count. Played in Australia over the winter, and welcome to Stuttgart. And that pitch high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a fly ball right field. Can he over the shoulder catch? But no, he can't hold on to it. Nice try by first baseman Thomas Joyce. Sometimes those are the things that can kill you. Let's see if Daniel can do something with the extra chance. And another shout out to Stefan Robeck, watching at home. Another one of the longtime Bundesliga umpires here in Germany. And a base hit, nice backhand and throw by third baseman Marlon Jimenez for out number 3. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 3 innings in the books, 2 for Mainz and 0 for Stuttgart. Top of the 4th inning, leading off for the Mainz Athletics will be Max Bolt, followed by Peter Johannesson, Marlon Jimenez, Ramos. And I think the whole Aviles family is watching, so hello to you in Chandler, Arizona. I'm sure it's a little bit warmer there than our 60 degrees here. Probably could use some of the rain we got. I would be happy to send it to you if I could. Stuttgart, after giving up 2 runs in the first inning, pitcher Jose Mendoza bearing down and swing and a miss for strike number 1. Max safe on an error in the first inning. And that ball hit into left center field over the head of Jonas van Bergen. But Jonas able to get it in quick enough. Max Bolt, not the fastest runner, but a clean single. And that brings up right fielder Peter Johannesson. Peter hit into a double play in the last inning. Of course, Jose Mendoza hoping that he'll do it again. That pitch misses low. Nice stop by Daniel. Keeps Max Bolt at first base. That catches the outside corner. Hot cheese at the knees for strike number 1. 1-1 to count. And a nice block. 2 balls, 1 strike. And a ground ball over the glove of Moritz van Bergen. And Yannick Dens able to get it in quickly. Max Bolt only advancing to second base. But Mainz has runners at first and second with no outs. Up to bat, Marlon Jimenez Ramos. So, question, is there a camera in on the fans? And that ball popped up, but out of play behind us. So tomorrow there'll be a camera out there in the fan section, but I can tell you, we've got more people here than the Oakland Athletics have at their home games. Official count, 27,236 people in the stadium. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. That ball in the dirt. Daniel is doing a great job behind the plate, keeping the runners at the bases. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. And check down to first base. First base umpire says no, he did not go. Evens the count at 2. Of course, pitcher would love to get that strikeout. And that ball popped up. Can Moritz get it? Over the shoulder, no! Just about the same place that Thomas Joyce tried to get it. Those over the shoulder catches are some of the hardest catches to make. Count stays at 2-2. And a line drive in center field over the head of Yannick Dentz. And Peter Johansson rounding. Second throw home. In time. Beautiful relay. Yannick Dentz to Xavi Gonzalez to Daniel Abeles to get the out. Max Bolt, of course, able to come across and score a double and an RBI for Marlon Jimenez Ramos, but also an out for the Stuttgart Reds. And up to bat, designated hitter Will Kilgore. Will ground it out to third base, hitting 200 so far this year. And that pitch just a little bit high, ball one. Ball two, 2 balls, no strikes. And that ball fouled down the third base line right to the refreshment stand. And that means those people trying to get burger, hot dogs, beer, French fries, all of those, of course, available if you want to come down. Again, tomorrow's game starts at 1 o'clock. That curveball in the dirt. 3-1 to count. In time called. Jose taking a little bit too long for the batter. Will Kilgore. And that pitch too high. Ball number 4 puts runners at first and second, but also gets the double play in order. Brings up Gianni Froelich. Johnny struck out in his first at bat. That pitch on the inside corner, strike number 1. You're welcome, Mad Max. That off-speed pitch just a little bit high. 1-1 to count. And just a little bit low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Jose, of course, starting the season with a very good record. Seems to be a little bit struggles with him today. And that pitch is high for ball number 3. In his 8 innings so far this year. Only 2 walks against 9 strikeouts. Already has 2 walks today. And that pitch too far inside for ball number 4. Walk loads the bases and gets his catcher to come out to the mound to talk to him. Of course, Joanico Acosta has started most of the game ones, and unfortunately he's a little injured, so he's not able to pitch today. So I have forced Mr. Mendoza to go from the closer role to the starter role. Of course, if you watched some of our baseball last year, you'll know that it's nothing new to Jose Mendoza. In the batter's box, Carl Feldman grounded out to the first baseman, his first at bat. And that pitch just a little bit outside, ball 1. Stuttgart playing with the corners in, middle infield at double play depth. And that ball right to Moritz von Bergen, who throws it to second, tags first base, throws it to second base, where Xavi Gonzalez able to complete the double play. Home plate umpire signaling the run did not score because the out was made before Marlon Jimenez Ramos could cross the plate. A twin killing stops the inning, but 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th inning, leading off for the Stuttgart Reds, Danilo Weber, Moritz von Bergen, Dustin Ward. Stuttgart able to turn a double play in the top of the 4th inning to keep Mainz from scoring more than 1 run. Stuttgart needn't get the bats woke up. Tim Stallman, of course, so far only 1 hit, and that was the only base runner Stuttgart has had. Of course, if you look at the team standings, Stuttgart and Mainz right close to each other on both sides. That pitch, swing and a miss. In the offense, Mainz in 4th place with a batting average of .231, followed by Stuttgart in 5th place at .229 in the batting average contest. And that ball hit high, but no problem for Peter Johannesson. A loud pop, but just a long out. And in the pitching statistics, Stuttgart ERA of .262 in 3rd place. And Mainz at .443 in 4th place. Of course, both those statistics, offense and defense, Heidenheim and Regensburg up top. That pitch, low, ball number 1 to Moritz von Bergen. Moritz batting .333 for the season, is 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. And mighty hack, but miss, 1-1 to count. And that line drive right to the shortstop. Gianni Froelich for quick out number 2. Dustin Ward up to bat. He lined out to the second baseman the first at bat. .375 batting average. Mainly pitcher for game number 2, but does a lot of DHing in game number 1, and he's hacking at the first pitch. Hits it up high, but right to the left fielder, Carl Feldman. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. And quickly, we're done with the bottom of the 4th inning. Score remains Mainz 3, Stuttgart 0. Top of the 5th inning, leading off for the Mainz Athletics, Niki Weichert, Kevin Katowski, Thomas Joyce. Again, come on down. If you can't make it today, come down tomorrow. The entrance now for coming into the ballpark is on the other side, so where the TVC Constat head offices are, you enter there. That pitch lined up the middle for a base hit. Niki Weichert safe at first, and leadoff man Kevin Katowski walked and scored in the first inning, grounded out in the 3rd inning. But you enter by the TVC headquarters. Come in, there is a fan shop built up. You walk into the stadium, take a seat, burgers, pommes, beer, all in the same place as last year. And a bunt. And that rolls foul. Nice, smart move by third baseman. And again, if you can't make it, Stuttgart Reds on YouTube this year. Subscribe to the Reds TV on YouTube. No balls, 1 strike. Niki Weichert at first base. And a pickoff. Jose trying to get Kevin Katowski to show his hand with the pickoff. No balls, 1 strike. That pitch high, 1-1 to count. And another high. Three and one to count. Runner goes. Strike, and Shabby not be able to get the corral the throw, so stolen base for Nicky Weikert. Strike number 2 for Kevin Kotowski. Full count. That ball grounded to the first baseman, who can't get the ball under control. Infield single goes all the way to the outfield. Runners at the corners, no outs, and up to bat Thomas Joyce. Oh, Mainz threatening again in inning number 5. And a pickoff, of course, Kevin Kotowski. Year for year, one of the top base stealers in the Bundesliga. Doesn't have one so far this year. Jose Mendoza already up to 70 pitches. That ball hit in the air, shallow, called for by the center fielder, who gets it in quickly. No chance for Nicky Weikert at third base to come across home plate. Very important out for Jose. Brings up Max Bolt. Max safe on an error, and then a single and a run scored. Oh, Bundesliga standings in the north. Bonn leading at 8-4, followed by Hamburg at 7-5, Paderborn at 5-5, Berlin at 4-4, Dorn at 4-6, with Cologne bringing up the bottom at 4-8. Swing and a miss, strike number 1. In the south, Heidenheim undefeated so far, the only undefeated team in the Bundesliga at 7-0. Regensburg 8-2, followed by Mainz at 6-2. Stuttgart, your hometown Stuttgart Reds at 5-3. And a pickoff. They get him in a rundown. Can they keep him in the rundown? And there goes the runner. Throw home. Too high. So it's 2 stolen bases. And another run for the Mainz Athletics. Lower throw could have probably got him. The throw too high. Another run for Mainz. Count still 0-1 on Max Bolt. And of course, Kevin Kotowski now in scoring position. Again, Bundesliga South, Heidenheim 7-0, Regensburg at 8-2. Of course, their 2 losses against Heidenheim. Mainz at 6-2, Stuttgart at 5-3. Hunstetten as the team that moved up from the second league, doing a good job at 4-8. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. Haar, which is to me very surprising. Haar normally one of those teams fighting for 3rd or 4th place. They're in 6th place at 2-10, and Mannheim, all sorts of trouble there. They're at 1-9. And in fact, lost their coach. That out by window shopping. Oh, yeah. Strikeout for out number 2. Of course, Joshua Wyatt, brought into Mannheim this year to coach, is already gone. Something happened there. I don't know what. Two outs. Kevin Kotoski at second base, and up to bat Peter Johannesson. Hit into a double play in his first at bat. Singled and got thrown out at home. And that pitch low and away, ball number 1.
Was ist denn Ihres Jacke? Hier? Ja. Dann bringen Sie
That off-speed pitch in there. Strike number 1, 1-1 to count. Another off-speed pitch, catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitch just a little bit outside, trying to get him to chase. Triple deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a check swing gets past the catcher, and the tag of the runner, and strikeout. Oh, yeah. Peter Johannesson not too happy about it, but they call it strike 3. He doesn't run to first base, so it's an out. Mainz another run for them. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of inning number 5.
Woke up in the morning, what a beautiful day. Sun's up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we sing. Run round and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so. Na, 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 na.
Yannick Dentz, Benedict Schaefer, Xavi Gonzalez up to bat in this inning. Stuttgart needing to wake up their bats. So far, Tim Stallman has only given up 1 hit. And 3 strikeouts in the game. Have had a couple hard hit line drives, but directly at somebody. Let's see what Yannick can do. He flew out to right field, and he's hacking at the first pitch. Foul ball out of play. There's Tim Stallman, very, very proficient with his pitches. Only 43 pitches so far today. Where Jose Mendoza already up to 79. Another foul ball. A little bit of discussion in the chat about the rundown play. Of course, if the defensive team does the right thing as soon as that runner breaks home, a good throw to home usually will win the battle. This time the throw just a little bit high. No balls, 2 strikes. And an off-speed pitch catches Yannick Dentz. Looking out by window shopping out number 1. That brings up Benedict Schaefer. So far the only hit for the Stuttgart Reds in the game. That came in the 2nd inning. The only base runner for Stuttgart Reds. Stuttgart, of course, one of the youngest teams have been over the last few years. That pitch high, ball number 1. Foul ball, 0-2 the count. Most of the players for the Stuttgart Reds in their early mid-20s, except for Grandpa Xavi. There's an off-speed pitch in there for strike number 2. Tim Stallman mixing his pitches effectively, keeping the batters from Stuttgart off balance. And that ball slowly hit, but no problem for the third baseman, out number 2. And in the score sheet, 5-3 up to bat, Xavi Gonzalez. Xavi shows bunt, pulls it back, no strike. Xavi only a 174 batting average for this year. I'm sure that'll come around. That ball foul out of play. 1-1 to count. And that ball chopped right to the third baseman, who steps and throws in time. Again, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Tim Stallman controlling the Stuttgart Reds. 5 innings in the books. Mainz 4, Stuttgart 0. Top of inning number 6, leading off for the Mainz Athletics will be Marlon Jimenez Ramos, followed by Will Kilgore, Johnny Froelich. Marlon, 357 batting average so far for the season. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. Jose Mendoza still on the mound for the Stuttgart Reds. There is somebody in the bullpen. And that pitch, high and inside, nose tickler, ball number 1. That fastball in there, 1-1 to count. And a big shout out and a thank you to Oma Hunt, always taking care of the Reds TV with coffee and cake. Of course, that ball in the dirt, 2-1. Oma Hunt with not 1, not 2, but 3 grandchildren that play for the Stuttgart Reds. 2 balls, 1 strike. That off-speed pitch in there for strike number 2. So how did Mainz get to where they're at today so far? And a line drive past Benedict Schaefer in center field. And second double for Marlon Jimenez. Leadoff double puts a runner in scoring position from Jump Street. And that brings up Will Kilgore, 0 for 1, a ground out and a walk. Well, Mainz started off the season, was supposed to be playing the Stuttgart Reds, but that game got rained out, or those games got rained out. So they have a 5-4 and a 2-1 wins against the Mainz Athletics. And then probably their worst game of the season the following week, losing 18-3 to Regensburg. That pitch misses low. Check, and first base umpire says no, he didn't go. They come back losing a very close game in the bottom of the 9th inning, 2-1. Then they were able to take 2 games off of Hunstetten, 4-2 or 4-0 and 4-2. Ball number 2. And last week beating Har 11-8 and 7-1 to give them their 6-2 record. And a fly ball deep and a home run, 2-run home run for Will Kilgore. 2 more runs for the Mainz Athletics. Up until that, Stuttgart had only given up 5 runs in 2 games. Everything else was less than that. And so Mainz flexing their offensive muscles. 2 more runs for Mainz. Brings up shortstop Johnny Froelich. Of course, in any baseball game, you have to hit to score runs, and Stuttgart so far only 1 hit. That off-speed pitch in there, strike number 1. Another off-speed pitch, backhanded by Xavi Gonzalez. Throw not in time. Johnny Froelich able to beat it out, infield single. Left fielder Carl Feldman up to bat. 2 at-bats, 2 ground outs to the first baseman. And the last one he grounded into a double play 2 innings ago. Wouldn't be a bad thing to see right now. And a pickoff Fröhlich back in time. That pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. And a fly ball in center field. In the gap between left and center fielder all the way to the fence. A stand-up double. Well, looks like the Mainz Athletics have solved the Jose Mendoza pitching double home run, single and double runners at second and third with no outs. And Nicky Weichert coming up to bat. That brings Coach Jocks out to the mound to talk to his pitcher. It looks like he's going to the bullpen. So as soon as we get the new pitcher, we'll let you know. We'll be right back. New pitcher for the Stuttgart Reds, giving his Reds pitching debut, Robert Blessing. Jose Mendoza, 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 of the 6 runs earned. He is, of course, responsible for the runners on second and third. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Not his best day. Every pitcher has a day. Again, Robert Blessing coming in for him to pitch. This is his Reds debut. And let's see, hopefully he can stop the bleeding. He'll be facing Nicky Weichert, Kevin Kotowski, Thomas Joyce. And Robert Blessing, new to the Stuttgart Reds this year. Started again his baseball career in Berlin with the Flamingos, and then went to the Paderborn International School for baseball before coming to Stuttgart. U12 or U15 and U18 national team player. Right now, Mainz has 6 runs with runners at second and third, no outs. Nicky Weichert, 273 for the season, 1 for 2 today with a single and a ground out. Stuttgart's defense playing back, which means they're going for the out. And that pitch misses in, ball number 1. Ball 2. 2-0. And 3 straight balls to start off his pitching career for the Stuttgart Reds. 3-0 the count. Of course, a walk here loads the bases, does put the force out at every base. And that ball in the dirt. Gets past the catcher, but not far enough. A walk for Nicky Weichert, and that brings up leadoff man Kevin Kotowski. Corners are moving in. Of course, force out at home means all you have to do is touch home plate to get the out. And ball 1. That ball hit high in the air, all the way to the fence and over the fence for a grand slam home run. 4 more runs for the Mainz Athletics. Grand slam for Kevin Kotowski. Runs number 3, 4, 5, and 6 in this inning. 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the game. Of course, not the start the Stuttgart Reds wanted for their new stadium. Bases are clear, and up to bat, Thomas Joyce. And he hacks at the first pitch, fouls it out of play. No balls, 1 strike. And a ground ball fielded by the pitcher. Nice underhand throw to get the first out in the inning. Brings up catcher Max Bolt. Safe on an error, single, run scored, and a strikeout for him. And that ball bounces into the glove for ball number 1. And a high fly ball, left field, down the foul line. Out of play, long strike, 1-1 to count, 1 out. And that pitch just a little low, 2-1. And a ground ball up the middle, base hit for Max Bolt. His second hit of the game. Runner at first. And the 9th batter to come to the plate in this inning, Peter Johannesson. And a ground ball, Xavi step and throw to second. And not in time at first. Gets the lead runner, Max, at second. Out number 2. Marlon Jimenez Ramos, who started off with a double in this inning, takes that pitch on the inside corner for strike number 1, the 10th batter for the Mainz Athletics. And a nice block by catcher Daniel Avalos. Stuttgart moving their first base behind with a 10-0 score. Not going to hold on the runner. And gentlemen's baseball, Peter Johannesson not going to steal. That pitch low, 2-1. And ground ball right to the second baseman. Throw in time to end the inning, but 6 runs with 2 home runs. On 5 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on 6 runs in the inning. Raises score to 10 for Mainz, 0 for Stuttgart. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Batting for the Stuttgart Reds will be Yannick Witt, Jonas van Bergen, and leadoff man Daniel Avalos. Stuttgart needing to get some offensive going, or this game is threatening to end after the 7th inning. Of course, 10-run rule would be in effect. Stuttgart only able to get 1 hit so far off of pitcher Tim Stallman. And that pitch in there for a strike. Of course, he's throwing strikes. And that ball hit high in the air. No problem for center fielder Kevin Kotowski. Catches over the shoulder for out number 1. Jonas van Bergen up to bat. Tim Stallman wheeling and dealing. 52 pitches thrown, 40 of them for strikes. Of course, that is the efficiency of a good pitcher. Jonas takes the first pitch in there for strike number 1. Foul ball, 0-2 the count. That pitch high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2, 2-2. And a swing and a miss, out number 2 in the inning. Brings Daniel Avalos up to bat. Only the 3rd at bat for the leadoff man. And he fouls that off-speed pitch off for strike number 1. Stuttgart started off the season with 5 wins, beating Mannheim 16-5 and 8-0. Then wins against Hunstetten 5-2, 4-0. That ball in the gap into right center field, all the way to the fence. And finally, a runner makes it to second base. A double for Daniel Avalos. And Danielo Weber, the next batter, strikeout, fly out. So maybe, just maybe, first guy in scoring position for the Reds. Of course, again, Stuttgart able to win 5-2 and 4-0 against Hunstetten. 3rd games of the season, or 3rd weekend of the season, they split with the Mainz Athletics. Winning game 1, 5-2, losing game 2, 3-0. And that ball grounded up the middle and hits the base and gets through. Stuttgart able to bring the first run across home plate. And finally, something for the 27,000 fans to cheer about. Stuttgart scores their first run of the game on the RBI single. And Danielo Weber brings up Moritz von Bergen. Moritz von Bergen strikeout and a line out. Moritz, of course, one of the power hitters for the Stuttgart Reds. 2 home runs so far this season for him. And he hacks at the first pitch down the right field line, but a nice running catch by Peter Johannesson stops the rally. Stuttgart finally able to put something across the board against the pitcher Tim Stallman. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left on. 6 complete. Mainz Athletics 10. Stuttgart Reds 1. We'll be right back with the 7th inning. Top of the 7th inning coming up for Mainz. Will Kilgore, Johnny Froelich, Carl Feldman, Stuttgart finally able to do something. A double from Daniel Avalis and then a single from Danielo Weber. Stuttgart gets the goose egg off the scoreboard. 10-1 the score. Of course, Will Kilgore with his home run in his last at bat, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Let's see if that ball fouled out of play. If Robert Blessing can keep Mainz off the board in this inning, give Stuttgart a chance to maybe mount some kind of a comeback. That pitch misses, 1-1 to count. And foul out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a ground ball, foul out of play. Count stays at 1-2. Again, Stuttgart starting off with 5 straight wins before losing their first game to Haar. And last weekend in Regensburg, a 3-2 loss and a 5-0 loss to give them the 5-3 record. Stuttgart before this game had only give up 5 runs twice and 3 runs twice, 2 shutouts for the season. And a quick powwow between the catcher and the pitcher. And of course, you see umpire Patrick Meister signaling to the bench. There's only a limited amount of visits allowed. Some of the speed up rules in baseball, of course, in Major League Baseball with pitch count and batters count. Already we've had a game end on a batter's violation, strikeout. That ball in the dirt, 2-2. And line drive up the middle. Base hit for Will Kilgore makes him 2 for 3 in the game. Brings up Johnny Froelich. Strikeout, walk, and a single for him so far. And looks like we have a pinch runner for the Mainz Athletics. Stuttgart still playing with their first baseman back. That pitch misses high and inside. Pitch runner for Mainz, Leonard Stucklin. That's ball 2. And 3-0 count. And 4 straight balls to put runners at first and second. Brings up Carl Feldman. 2 ground outs to the pitcher and then to the first baseman and then a double. Stuttgart needing to get a double play to get out of the inning. A twin killing would be very, very nice. That pitch misses low, ball 1. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stuttgart still needing to get their first out of the inning. That ball fouled down the first base line. Nice catch by the first baseman, Morris von Bergen, for nothing. 1 ball, 1 strike, I believe. And that off-speed pitch misses. Of course, when you want the umpire to show the count, he doesn't. I believe the count is 2-1. And a ground ball in the gap between first and second. And Yannick Dent's able to get the ball in quick enough to only load the bases, but still no outs. And Nicky Weikert up to bat. Oh, corners playing in, cut off the run at home, middle infield, double play depth. Of course, for you baseball guys, pop up in the infield fly rule on, signals given by the umpires. And that pitch high inside, ball 1. Infield fly rule, less than 2 outs, runners on first and second, or first, second, and third. Anything popped up in the infield is an automatic out for the batter. And that one in right field, caught by Yannick Dentz, who gets the ball in. No chance for Leonard Stockland at third base to score. F9 in the scoreboards. First out and up to bat, Kevin Katowski, who in the last inning came up with bases loaded, hit a ball over the fence just over the outstretched arms of left fielder Jonas von Bergen for a grand slam. And he takes pitch number 1 just a little bit high for ball number 1. Missed by Muka Sekele. There's strike number 1, 1-1 to count. That curveball catches the lower part of the strike zone. Strike number 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a ground ball. Morris von Bergen comes home and throws the ball in the dirt. An error and throwback and tag on the second runner trying to score for the out. So Kevin Katowski safe on a fielder's choice. Leonard Stockland safe on the E3. And of course, Gianni Froelich gets thrown out. Catcher to first base for out number 1. Runners now at first and third. 1 out. Up to bat, Thomas Joyce. Excuse me, 2 outs. Ball 1. And that ball popped up. And nice catch by Daniel Avalos. Ends the inning. Pop up to the catcher for out number 3. 1 more run on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, Stuttgart needing to score a run to keep the game going. And that'll be up to Dustin Ward, Yannick Dentz, Benedict Schaefer still towing the rubber. And why not Tim Stallman up until last inning. Had only given up 1 hit. He gave up 2 hits in the last inning and 1 run. Only at 63 pitches in 6 innings, which is very, very efficient. Dustin Ward lined out to the second baseman, flew out to the left fielder. He'll be followed again by Yannick Dentz and Benedict Schaefer. Score 11-1 in favor of the Mainz Athletics. Again, tomorrow, 1 o'clock. And that pitch catches the inside corner, strike number 1. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, come on out, support your Reds. And if you can't, Reds TV on YouTube. That ball hit right to the center fielder, Kevin Kotowski, for out number 1. Subscribe to Reds TV at YouTube. We get 1,000 subscribers. Is a good thing. Would make CEO Master Disaster very happy. Yannick Dentz, fly out and strike out. And that pitch off speed on the inside corner, strike number 1. And it's Dentz, 259 batting average for the season so far. And that pitch just high, 1-1 to count. Fastball away, 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Tomorrow's games in the north, Doran versus Cologne, Bonn versus Paderborn. They're both 7-inning doubleheaders. That ball into right field. Base hit for Yannick Dentz. Oh, Stuttgart not dead yet. Benedict Schaefer with a single and a ground out. So the game extending run at first base. In the south tomorrow, again, game 2, Stuttgart versus Mainz. You also have Haar versus Hunstetten. And on Sunday, Mannheim versus Heidenheim. So plenty of baseball. And of course, with the holiday on Thursday, more baseball starting on Wednesday. That pitch misses on the outside corner, strike number 1. So Thursday holiday baseball starts on Wednesday, and we'll be here again on Thursday for a doubleheader. That inside corner for strike number 2. And a foul ball. One and 2 the count. And Thursday of next week on the holiday, Haar comes to visit. You can't get out here tomorrow, get out here on Thursday next week. And that pitch catches the inside corner, out by window shopping, out number 2, Stuttgart. Down to the last out, and Xavi Gonzalez comes up to bat. Let's see if he can extend this game. Ball low in the dirt. Again, impressions of the game. If you want to log into the Stuttgart Rebs website, the world's best photographer, here's Drobny, taking lots of pictures. That pitch misses inside, 1-1 the count, or 2-0 the count. Yannick Dentz still standing at first base. And 3 balls, no strikes. If Xavi can get on, Yannick Witt would be the next batter. He's got a strikeout and a flyout. And a 4-pitch walk, the first walk issued by Tim Stallman today. Puts runners at first and second. Nobody in the bullpen for Mainz. Of course, Tim Stallman, up until the last inning, completely in charge of the Stuttgart Reds. Only has thrown 73 pitches so far. And that pitch on the inside corner, strike number 1. And off-speed pitch on the inside corner again, strike number 2. See where he goes with this pitch. Probably Bill trying to paint the outside corner or get him to chase a high fastball. Yeah, high fastball, just a little bit too high. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Stuttgart still needing to put one run across the board or the game is over. And that just a little bit inside, quite a bit inside. Triple deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Actually quad deuces because we got 2 on. And that ball up the middle. And Nicky Weichert takes it to second base. 4 out, number 3. Complete game, 4 hit, 1 run, 2 errors for the Stuttgart Reds. 11 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for the Mainz Athletics. Mainz wins the season opener for the against the Stuttgart Reds 11-1. Again, tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Come on down, support your Reds, and if you can't support the Reds, come by coming down. We'll be back on the air probably about 5 minutes before, so I wish you a nice evening. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast on behalf of Mr. Good Vibrations, Reiner Loke, and the new Marvel superhero, Yara Drobny. My name is Ken, the Voice Hudson, signing off, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.